since then, it's just been a steam train ahead because if you actually apply yourself and you actually take time every single day, I know you guys do this too. You spend a little bit of time every day improving and getting more clients and just trying. It's all of a sudden you're an overnight success. So that's all I've done, and it's worked great for me.
Welcome back to another episode of the Perks in Paving. We are going to switch it up a little bit for the next 12 episodes. Hopefully we get through the whole year with the new lingo that we're going with. But we are going to start having contractors on our podcast. And we thought, what better way to start off this segment by having our one team contractor of the year, Casey Williams. Welcome to the show.
Thank you guys very much, Paige and Mark both. This is a huge honor. A little bit nervous, but it'll be fun. This is already pretty fun, so I'm excited to be on. This is going to be a good time, and I'm actually really looking forward to what the other guys say. Now that I'm kind of setting the precedent, I want to see how the rest of the episodes go. So this will be great. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. This is your first podcast then, huh?
It is. Yes, I'm definitely not a podcast person, but hopefully this will break me. This will change me, and I couldn't think of a better person than Mark to be right there, because Mark and I speak all the time, and we sit around and talk about anything and everything. So this is a great group to start it off with for sure.
Casey was actually the guy I spoke with. I don't know if you remember this, but when my mom was sick and I had to fly down to Tampa, I had a bunch of delays on coming back home. We talked all day on the phone. We texted all day.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we did.
So, like I said, one of the things that we talk about at the company is like one of the best things about working for the pavement group and in this industry is the relationships that you make. And just, us talking right now and recapping, us talking on a Saturday where you and I don't have any business to discuss, but
when Mark's phone like rings on a Saturday, I'm like, who was that? He's like, oh, Casey. I was like, oh, what's up? He's like, he was just calling to chat. Like, you guys talk about like skydiving.
We did talk about skydiving for like 2 hours.
That's
vacation,
awesome.
anything you can think of. So
I know,
and I think that's a big deal too when it comes to actually doing the jobs. It's like the barrier between it's almost like a friendship and then the business barrier. It does get old if you do it all day every day. So it's such a relief to talk to someone like you two or anyone over there, and it's just like you could talk to someone like if they're your friend and get down straight to business and just tell them how it is. And that's a huge bonus for working with you guys. So it helps us tremendously, definitely in the office and everything. So,
we feel the same way. We feel the same way.
Great.
Now, do you know at all like how you became the number one pick for the 1Team Contractors?
I do not. I would love to know, actually.
Yeah. So it's based off of our core values. So that's where it starts. So, we went through our segment on all the core values. If you haven't watched our podcast, you can go back to the last 6 or 7 that we've recorded to hit on all those. But we felt as though, we had a list of our top, contractors, and based off of those core values, you were nominated as one of them. And from there, we vote as a company of, who we felt as though was our top pick for 2024. So from there, that's based off of everyone in our office getting their own vote. And you came out on top, buddy.
That's awesome. It's a great accomplishment. But it's like, I'm not looking for that. You know what I mean? It's like, this is how we run our business. And it's a huge bonus to hear that someone actually, 20 something or however many people you have in there notice that. It definitely gives you more of a boost to start the year off every year. So that's a great honor to have. That's really cool. I look forward to actually coming in soon too and seeing everyone again.
I know. You definitely need to come into the office, but we would like to know a little bit more, and for you to share with our audience. Tell us a little bit more about Michigan Pavement Specialist and how it came to be and how long you've been in business and stuff of that nature.
Yeah, so Michigan Pavement started. Well, I started with when I was 12 years old. Of course, cutting grass like every single entrepreneur ever did. And that worked into, we were doing the restoration for the gas and energy company. And they approached me eventually. This was probably 2017 or something. Approached me. They're like, hey, we can't find someone to do these little asphalt patches in the road or concrete sidewalk. Like, can you do it? And I'm like, no, I can't. I have no idea what I'm doing. I could try it because they kept begging me and begging me. So I ended up doing it. The first time ever was a huge fail. It was like a thunderstorm, and there was like 4 tons of solid asphalt in the back of a little dump truck. That it was a nightmare, but it was a start. And they knew that I didn't know what I was doing. Like we were doing like little 1 foot by 1 foot patches like in the roads for like $100. So we weren't making any money. It was just kind of like a learning experience. They knew that. They were begging. They had no one to do it. So after that we did that for like a season, and by the end of the season we actually got pretty good at it. And then that whole winter I just was going around to trade shows, sending emails, doing everything on Google I could to find more customers. And ever since then it's just been a steam train ahead, because if you actually apply yourself and you actually take time every single day, I know you guys do this too, you spend a little bit of time every day improving and getting more clients and just trying, it's all of a sudden you're an overnight success. So that's all I've done, and it's worked great for me. So yeah, that was it was a not I didn't plan on it. I knew I was going to do something, construction related or outdoor related. That was always the plan, but it kind of just fell into my lap. So it worked out really well, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. No, I love it, and the people I work with. So it works out great now. So that's really, it's a pretty simple opening, but now that's all we do is just paving and concrete. We don't do any restoration work anymore. So it works great for us. And I just want to keep adding more people like you guys and seeing your guys' team grow. And then I love to see when you guys get someone new like Ian, and it's like he doesn't know a whole lot at the beginning, and then now he knows all kinds of stuff. He's calling me. He's like, "Hey, I got 80,000 square foot mill and paved for you." I'm like, just a couple months ago, he had no idea what that was. So I love seeing new people come in.
But you can keep going, Casey, if you want to say some other stuff.
Sorry, I forgot to intro that Ian was over there. I don't know if you even knew he was sitting back there.
Yeah,
hello everybody. We're back.
Oh, okay.
He's in the corner.
They want me back for episode 2 of the season.
So you mentioned you had been working your butt off since you were 12 years old and got more into pavement kind of a little bit later on. But what would you say has been the biggest change in the industry from when you started out doing 1x1 patches to where you are now? And
so the industry as a whole, in my opinion, and I don't know if it's for the better, a lot of private equity is starting to really get into the game. So they're buying up a lot of these companies, and they're becoming absolute powerhouses, at least on the actual, they're actually getting a lot of tonnage down, but their customer service is going way down. Because when I first started, I was only doing patches, so I used to sub out all my paving work. And I probably still would if I didn't have so many issues with all these companies, because they tell you they're going to be here one day and then they're just not. That's, I think, probably the biggest issue that's coming into the past 5 years, I'd say, is private equity kind of pushing their way in. That's something I don't think I would ever want to do with our company, just to keep really good relations like with you guys and other people and my other customers. So that's probably been the hardest thing to do. But the way I've gotten around it is I just joined them. So now we subcontract for plenty of companies that are just absolute powerhouses now. And it works out great because they get good service out of us and good customer service. And they just keep on adding on more clients. So that's definitely been the biggest change. And it's going very fast. So hopefully it's not a bad thing for the industry. Hopefully, at least in Michigan, it's really taking over. So I hope, I don't know about the East Coast or anything, but here it's definitely becoming a game changer. So we've just accepted to join them instead of being upset about it and go from there.
From starting as, you're out there by yourself doing these pothole patches to now having a crew of 15 or so people, what has been the biggest struggle for you to navigate that growth as you've brought more people onto your team?
So the biggest struggle, of course, was, the patching when we were doing just that and just doing like small mill patches. Everything was fine. And then we had to make the jump into actual paving is when we struggled the most. Luckily, just from subbing out work, we were able to see the process through the other guys we worked with. But that was definitely the struggle, was moving into a completely different realm. And it worked out good for us, but that was definitely the biggest struggle, was you're kind of going from something that it takes skill, but not, a high level of skill to do. So now you have to run a whole job, and, the job has to be perfect for the customer. So that was our biggest struggle, at least out in the field. And then the delegation in the office was a little bit of a struggle for sure. But yeah, I think it depends. Like with you guys, I like to only deal with you guys because I know what you guys need is like a certain client. But
Right.
when it comes to like, because we do plenty of work that's comes from like Google and whatnot, and return customers. So being able to delegate the office work to actually send out invoices for them and estimates for them was probably the biggest struggle, is finding someone you can actually trust to do all those things, and you don't have to really be involved that much. That's definitely been the biggest struggle for us. It's just one of those things. I think a lot of people struggle with that. So
right. I was going to say, I think you do a pretty darn good job. I mean, anytime we work with Casey, the communication is top notch. You are there when you say you're going to be there. If you're not going to be there, you communicate that with us. And I think that is, one of the many reasons that you've grown to be our contractor of choice in Michigan.
Absolutely.
And outside of Michigan. I mean, I've sent you all over the place. So.
And I think that's, a lot of people love the word delegation, but you got to kind of pick and choose. You can delegate a customer that may have one or two jobs, but I know TPG is going to come with like 50 or 100 paving jobs a year. It would just be better if I took that over, because I'm always on my phone all day long. I can just update you guys whenever I see the calendar right then and there. I'm holding myself accountable because it's my company. So I think people really have to pick and choose when it comes to being successful on, what to delegate and what to keep a hold of and have a lot of control of, to keep people like you very happy, because you guys are a great addition to our company. And without you guys, it's like, you can only have so many, B, C, and D level. You got to have good A level clients. So I like to take those and then delegate the rest of those lower companies that are still great customers, but they have less properties, or they're very sporadic on sending work, whatever it is. So that's definitely been a huge game changer for me, is knowing who to actually pursue on the level of actually taking control of the client. So that's been a huge plus for me on success. Absolutely.
Right. So I was gonna say, Ian, let's get you involved a bit. What case? what question? I know that you were thinking up some questions to ask Mr. Casey Williams. What would you like to ask him about? Doesn't have to be pavement
Casey, I
related.
think, you probably get like 20 phone calls a week from us. What is the craziest request you've gotten from the pavement group? Like probably from me or Trudy.
Oh, that's a good one. Honestly, believe it or not, most of them aren't that crazy. Probably the craziest one we've ever had was for another client though, and they had us go pick up a deer had got hit, and it ran into the back of their lot. It was at a bank, and it was in the drive-through. So me and my brother, and it was way up north. It was like 4 hours away, but we drove up there on a Friday night at like 11:30 at night to go get this deer and dispose of it for him. That was probably the craziest one we've done. TPG has never had anything. I don't know if you guys can think of anything that's been too out of the ordinary.
Oh, do you?
Do you?
I do. I do. It was, I can't remember what city it was. It wasn't a weird request. It was just a bad situation. I can't remember what city it was in. I want to say it might have been in Indy, where you've mobilized everyone down and they had that huge permanent tractor trailer.
Oh, yes.
By the concrete
that
stair ramp.
Yeah.
And you called me at like 7:15 in the morning. You're like, I'm out here, and like, there's no way they want this done. And I was like,
yeah, because that one, they ended up moving it for us because we knew it was there. And then they moved it back.
Yeah.
Even though we told them we were going to be there on that day, and they were like, forget it. Like, we don't want it done. And we're like, well, we just like mobilized everyone here.
Easy, right?
Yeah. I mean,
that was one of the more general conversations I think I've had with a contractor, where they had every right to be like, I just drove 4 hours over here.
Yeah.
And you were totally cool with it. He's like, this stuff happens all the time. And
it does. It like once a week, we're calling a tow truck to move a car, or, we get there and the manager tells us to leave. That's part of the business. And I think, if you have a good relationship with someone like you guys, 9 times out of 10, that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? With all the jobs we do for you guys. So the one time it does, that's just statistics. It happens. But yes, that was definitely, and that's why I do like to be very involved, because I don't want to have my guys be out there and not know what to do. So in the mornings, if I know it's kind of an odd job or maybe far away, I'll go out there for the morning, just make sure everything's going smooth, and then take off, let them finish it. Because I totally forgot about that job. Yes, that was not what we expected that morning either.
Yeah.
So
he was so nice. He called probably like 7:15 in the morning. I picked up.
I mean, I mean, so professional. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of anger that you're holding back in those moments, but I mean, it once again goes to show, like, not that, like, obviously you don't want to let things like that slide by often, but you know that's not the norm with us. You know, it was just an exception to, you know, it was inconvenient and not planned. I mean, it's not something that we could have prepped for.
So Casey, I don't know if you know this, in our system we have sort of a list of skills and attributes we assign to our contractors. You know, what sort of work can they perform? Do you want me to add carry-in removal to?
No, my brother said that he will never do that ever again. Is what he told me.
What does that cost you to get a deer head out of a drive-through?
It wasn't even that much. It was a long time ago. I can't remember, but it was one of those things where we did a lot of work for the customer. So it's like, sometimes you just have to do it. And that's where a lot of people fail, where they're like, well, we're a paving company. We can't do that. We can't do this. You guys aren't looking for, I mean, there's so many good guys that can drive a paver, that can run equipment out here. It's not really about that. You know, it's like, can you actually help us when we need help? Can you actually answer the phone? I know a lot of people, because I do it too. I'll ask them at 6:30 in the morning or earlier, hey, are you on site yet? What are you doing? What's going on today? And people think you're being a pester. And it's like, no, I actually have to know. I have someone to update. You know what I mean? And you guys are the same way. So it's like, anyone can run a paving crew, but it's more than just that. And I think a lot of people fall short of really understanding that you have to have a lot of human interaction, regardless of your industry, to make things work successfully.
I mean, you just answered the next question I was going to ask, was what separates you from other competitors in Michigan, but also like other regional areas. But I mean, you literally just laid it out there. Like,
you have to have that care. I mean, the care, and it's clear every time we talk to you that you genuinely care about everything from the beginning of the project when we send it to you to the time that you send that invoice. I mean, but I'll let you answer. I won't answer for you. Sorry.
No, that's really appreciated, because it is my company. But all my employees are the same way. My brother's the same way. We all really care, because at the end of the day, it's like, this entire company is more than just somewhere you show up and you clock in. Like, everyone really enjoys it. They love to see successful things happen. The guys just love to be involved and know that I let them know. I'll be like, oh, hey, so-and-so with the pavement group got this job approved for us. It's a really good job for us to go do, and they'll get really happy. So it's a lot of camaraderie. Absolutely. And that's something that separates us too. A lot of companies, I think they have their employees become a number more than an actual person. So, by actually putting our employees almost in like an executive position, then they really do give a good product and give good customer service. So that's been a huge separation for us. And this one's a little bit different, but we've had a couple guys that we sub for, that they said they found us on social media, or they saw our trucks going down the road and they're like, we called you because your trucks were nice.
That's awesome.
We keep really clean trucks. Our trucks are really nice. Our equipment's really nice. So that is something that separates us. A lot of guys like to run their business in the ground and not have nice things. So
I think that's a representation. I mean, when they see a nice truck out on the road, I mean, that's a representation of how you're going to do your job too. I would think, if I see a nice, nice truck, your crews, where they're supposed to be on time. I mean, those are the things that people look for, and that's going to be a good representation of how, a project's going to run.
Absolutely. And I think that has been a really big, I know of 2 guys that we sub for now that have said that. So, because it makes them look good as well, that, if they're going to at least send a sub to do their work, it's not someone that like is down the street or something. It's a real company. So that's been a huge bonus for us.
What kind of trucks are we talking about here? F-150s? Tacomas?
Well, like, you'll have to clip in, because you guys are supposed to come out this summer and get some
work. We keep your secrets then.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never been to Michigan.
I don't think I have either. I've never been to Michigan.
The summers are very nice, and the fall is my favorite season. But
Casey, there's this house that keeps popping up on social media, and it looks like the best house of all time. I mean, it has a golfing
putting green.
Was it a putting green or was it like a simulator?
That's got a putting green.
Oh, okay, so it might have even had the simulator too,
Maybe.
though. I think it had both. And then there was
It
like a
probably
fireplace and then a pool, and it was right on the water. I mean,
it had like a deck with like 7 different hangout spots.
Yeah.
Loungers. I was like, I would be so FOMO if that were my house. We're like, well, like let's go over there on that view. Oh, let's go over here on this view. Like there's so many different areas to hang out and like.
But I was like, I want that house. But it's in Michigan.
That's one of my favorite parts of driving every day for work is I love to look at houses, and there are some beautiful homes in Michigan, especially waterfront homes. It's like I don't know who these builders are, but I need to find out because they do make some beautiful homes. But it's hard because come wintertime, you are not using any outdoors.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we had a mild winter last year, but it was like we had like 4 weeks of like 0 degrees and a foot of snow. That definitely gets old. So,
so what
you
do you
guys are a
guys
little
do to
bit
stay
better.
Yeah, I mean,
this year sucked.
This year sucked. I think it was an awful year for everyone.
Winter.
But yeah.
Our
summers are beautiful. I mean, I love our summers. Ian's been taking full advantage of the winter weather, right, Ian?
Yeah, it's snowboarding season. Been able to get out quite a bit.
Did you see his video on Instagram? I thought that was like someone else that you posted a video of, and then I like watched it 5 times and I realized like you're just a really good snowboarder.
Thank you, Paige.
That's you.
Very kind of you. Yeah, I was told when I started working here that we were slow in the winters, and I was like, that is awesome.
Perfect. That's all I need.
I think we maybe had like 3 days of that, and it has been like pedal to the metal full run since then. So stop sending us work.
I got my own board, Ian, so I'll have to go with you. And we'll have to go snowboarding.
Let's go, man. I wanted to ask you too. Mark said you go skydiving like a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, right. That's
how often are we talking?
It's if I'm not busy, I'll go. So like if it's
just like you're going for a walk.
Yeah, seriously, you can get in and out in like 35 minutes. So if I have a time between meetings, I have done that before.
In between meetings.
I'm serious. I've gone and done it real quick and then get back in the truck, redo my hair and stuff before another meeting.
How far away is the airstrip?
It's only 10 minutes from my house, so it works perfect. It's like it's probably 25 minutes from our shop. So it's like if I'm just around that area, I'll go do it. It's so much fun. I recommend it to everyone. Yeah, exactly. So
you ever take calls like in the airplane on the way up?
No, but I really should have like a Bluetooth piece in or something to make the calls. But
we'll make sure we get some footage of that this year.
Maybe the 4 of us can get out and jump out of a plane together.
I would so do it.
Yeah, Mark said he's gonna do it.
I would definitely do it.
I don't know. So you go with somebody else, right?
He's licensed now.
No, I'm not licensed yet. That's what in the spring I have to complete everything.
What does that entail?
It's like 25 jumps, and you gotta take the class. It's a lot. It takes a while to get it. But yeah, I do enjoy going. And Mark said in the fall he'll go with me this year. I've had a couple of my guys that went with me. My girlfriend doesn't like it. She gets mad every single time I go, so I don't usually tell her. I just go do it.
Is that why you go in between meetings? Because she doesn't
Sometimes,
know.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
One more question about skydiving, Casey. We kind of talk a lot about how to prospect new clients. We're always looking for new people to work with. When you're up there falling from the sky at terminal velocity, is that a good time to kind of check out parking lots?
So I have actually checked out a few. I'm like, I probably should stop by and talk to them. But not usually, Ian. Is that something that's going through my mind? I usually go just to not think of something. But yeah, I will consider that. Thank you, Ian. That's a really good
you can write it off.
Seconds are you free falling?
It's like 60 seconds and then about 5 minutes actually going down on the parachute. It's worth it. I really think you guys should try it. It's just fun. It's something different. I think you guys should try snowboarding too. Yeah, the thrill is so much fun. A roller coaster doesn't even hold a candle to it. Yeah. It's crazy.
I know we've all had our things that we want to do with you. So, okay, Ian wants to snowboard. Mark wants to do skydiving. I'm just down for the group trip to Cancun,
right.
We've been talking that up, and I'm still down for that. I don't think I'm going to go skydiving, but I'm down for the all-inclusive. So let's plan that.
I can work with that too. I know it. Actually, one of my friends is at the Hard Rock in Cancun. I know you guys like those a lot.
So, yeah.
I've never been at one. I need to stop and check one out.
Yeah, they're good.
A lot of people like them, especially the one in the DR. Isn't that where
that one is awesome.
That's the one that if I could go back to anywhere I've ever been in terms of like the Caribbean, or that's where I'd go.
I think a lot of it is who you go with, though. Like we had not that it was a beautiful resort, but I think so much of it is the people you're there with. And
absolutely.
We went for a wedding, and it was like my best friend's wedding, and her family is so fun. And I mean, we just had a ball.
Yeah.
So
that's seriously my favorite place. I've been to almost all the islands in the Caribbean. That's my favorite one. I would recommend that to anyone. We'll have to make a trip there because that place is a ton of fun. The weather's great. And that's all that matters.
As I say, like as we're getting to know you and kind of talk about what your interests and stuff are. So, being a contractor, being on the road from 6 a.m. to whenever the day is over and you get back to the shop, when Casey Williams has time to eat a meal, not a fast food thing, but to sit down at a restaurant or cook or have someone cook him a meal, what's that dish look like?
I'm going to get a lot of hate. So I'm really bad in the summer. It's usually because we have food for the crew every day. And that could be, whatever's closest. Yeah. So like a lot of Little Caesars, I don't know if you guys have those there. Like a lot of pizza.
I know it there. Yeah.
A lot of a lot of quick food. And then in the off season, I eat a lot of ground venison. Like a lot of bananas, avocados. So I do better, but like every single day, like 1 pound of ground venison and rice, bananas, avocados, just like I try to do better. Because the season takes a toll. I don't know about you guys. I know you guys are really busy too. It's hard to meal prep. I know you do sometimes on Sundays, Mark. That's the way to go. Sunday night. But that's my only day off. If it is a day off, it's Sunday, so it's like, I don't want to do that.
It's brutal. I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
But if I'm gonna stop and eat, I'll get a lot of hate for this too. I like Texas Roadhouse because it's like you can get a steak.
My family loves Texas Roadhouse.
I think it's a good because you're not there for 2 hours, but you're also not eating like fast food. So that's a pretty good spot. If I have you can be in and out in like 30 minutes. That's pretty good. So. That's a good spot for me. I don't know. Do you guys ever go out, or do you guys meal prep every day?
No, we
had lunch out today.
Yeah.
So
it's been a weird week. Like she was really sick last week, and then
it was brutal.
We were both supposed to be out of town. A couple of days ago, and that got canceled for me. So just one of those weird weeks where whatever we didn't eat last week, I froze. So finished that, and then. Today's Thursday, so we ate out today. Tomorrow's gonna be a pizza Friday for the office, so that takes care of that. But I try and like during the football season, like Sundays, I try and have it done before kickoff, so that the rest of the day is just wide open.
That's smart.
It is a lot of time.
I have a question, off the wall question, not related to anything pavement related. If you're gonna sing karaoke, what is your go-to song?
That's a very good question. I'm going to go, how about like Toby Keith or something like really simple? I don't know. That's a really good question.
Yeah, Toby Keith. Oh, that's so sad. I feel so bad that.
R.I.P.
I know.
Ian, what's your go-to karaoke song?
I usually sing Roxanne by the Police.
Really?
Okay.
My go-to.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah, I can really hit the Sting falsetto pretty well. So,
nice.
What about you guys?
Mark's is "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift.
No, it's not.
I got him to sing that on a cruise, and I was laughing so hard, Casey, that
he wasn't.
Do you know the part of the song where it's like, hey, well, you've been getting down and out about the liars. And so that part starts, and I am in tears, and Mark is just carrying it away. Like, I wish someone was recording it,
The
because
worst thing about that whole experience was we were the second people to go. So it's like, oh, we're opening up karaoke.
Sure.
The first woman that went was like a professional studio singer.
Like,
and I was
That's
like,
how that always goes.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then like, okay, now Mark and Paige. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, if you can actually sing, you should not be permitted at karaoke.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
You shouldn't be allowed to do that, because that happened when we went to Cancun, me, my brother, and some friends that own a company. And my brother was up there. And I mean, you guys know him. He is not he's not a singer. And he didn't even know the song he was singing. So yeah, I was the same way. I took a video. I was laughing. It was awesome. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna do any karaoke anytime soon. Maybe if all four of us make it on a trip or something, I'll do it. But
Yeah.
Sounds good. What's your off the wall question for Casey?
Hobby.
Man, I think we basically just covered everything.
I got one.
So
we talked about earlier before we started recording, like on the treadmill when it's cold out and whatever, watching show. What is your guilty pleasure TV show where it's not something you're necessarily proud of watching, but you're like, I'm not going to miss an episode of this. I don't care what happens.
You know, I don't watch a lot of TV. If I'm on the treadmill, Entourage every single time.
Entourage?
I don't care how many times I don't care how many times I've seen it. I'll just sit there and watch it.
It's so funny you say that, because I just started going down a wormhole of it's on Instagram. It's like best Ari like rants where he's just going off at Lloyd.
Yes, I watched that too.
Oh my God. It is so good. That's like a college staple. I don't know. How old are you, Kate?
You guys are really aging yourselves.
I'll be 26. How old are you, Ian?
26.
Okay,
I watched Entourage, that old show.
Okay. Yeah, it is old, but that's a great show. Well, yeah, you guys definitely remember it. That is.
That was college for me. So
yeah, that's a fantastic.
Yours, Mark?
That's probably what I watched.
I don't know anything on. I've been watching Jack Reacher.
Guilty.
Guilty. Yeah. I do. Love Is Blind.
I was gonna hope that you were gonna say that, because I was gonna call you out it, but it wasn't.
I thought you were gonna say like Deadliest Catch or something.
I will watch Deadliest Catch every time it's on though too. Like
Deadliest Catch does rock.
I do love Deadliest Catch. I don't care how many times. Like, or what's the one where they fish for the yellowtail?
Wicked Tuna.
Another one. Wicked Tuna. Oh, dude, every time. I want to see how much that fish weighs, like when they pull it up.
Right. How much money to make it?
Yeah.
When's the pavement reality show dropping? Yeah. Parking Lot Wives.
We actually, usually he's on his best behavior, but my brother is the absolute personality of the entire company. And we have one GoPro, and we want to get a couple to do like chest mounts and stuff, because he is the funniest person I have ever met. So we do want to do some just like joking around, like YouTube fake reality stuff sometimes, or just showing the day, because he is. I'll get some videos for you guys and send them to you.
I think we're gonna try to record more on some of your projects this year, just because you were, our 1Team Contractor of the Year. So when we send out our crew to, do some of the recording, you'll have to make sure that he gets some airtime.
I'll see you guys. I'll go out and make sure it's make sure everything's up to snuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, we're not like we're still human. We still have or try our best to have a really good time. Especially when I'm really stressed out or I'm maybe a little bit mad. He knows just how to push my buttons to either make it worse or actually break me of it. So we do need to do that.
Yeah. So you talk about getting your buttons pushed, and there's a lot of frustration that comes in this job, whether it's on your side of things or our side of things. Like, things happen, whatever. What do you do to like decompress after the day? Where it's just been one of those kind of days. Like, what does it look like for Casey Williams to let loose and put his hair down?
My days are pretty long. Honestly, probably be just hang out with my brother. We'll cook dinner sometimes together, or do something like go skydiving or go fishing. I love to fish too. That's the only thing that can save me.
It's been tough.
What's the age gap between you two?
Yeah, great question.
About 2 years almost. It's like 18 months.
Okay.
Yeah, it's around there. Yeah, it's about 2 year difference.
Nice.
We grew up together, went to the same school together. I didn't go to college because I was working. But he went to college, so I'd go visit him every single weekend and see him. We have a really close bond. So, like, we do everything. All our vacations are together.
That's awesome.
We're going to a Theo Von concert tonight for a comedy show. And
Nice.
him and I are going. Yeah, so we just do a ton of stuff together. So anytime after work, we just honestly hang out. We'll be at work together all day long, and then we'll hang out together all
That's
night long too.
awesome.
So yeah. Wow, what do you guys do? Turn on Love Is Blind or?
So I walk the dog. So
Yeah,
the first thing I do
okay.
when I get home is I take the dog for like a good probably 25, 30 minutes, depending on the weather, and just no cell phone, no nothing, like pure quiet. Just like
That's smart,
outside.
yeah.
Like I just need like a good half hour of nobody calling, complaining, asking this and that. And then after that, I'll typically go to the gym. And then if there's dinner not made, I'll start cooking or doing that.
On
But
page.
no, I know. I like to, like I said,
Like your walk is like
the
your
walk
main-
is like a necessity for my brain, pretty much.
Really? You need to shut
dude,
off time.
I do. Yeah. And also, like, I mean, he's a little dog. He's home alone all day. So I feel bad that, like, he's just been hanging. So it's good to.
Do you guys cage him up? Or do you guys,
What's up?
Does he roam the house? Or did you
Oh
cage
yeah,
him
he
up?
roams.
He's got our living room, the furniture, the couch is like right dead level with the wall of windows. So he's a 16-pound Chiweenie who thinks he's the sheriff of the whole neighborhood. So he can still
I've seen a photo of him, yeah.
yeah, look out and can patrol and growl at who shouldn't be where or whatnot. So
Yeah. But
And then
good
you
stuff.
walk him every day. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there has been times where like I'm the same way, just like I hate to not respond to people, but sometimes you need a couple hours just to shut off and
yeah.
actually live a life a little bit. So what,
Yeah.
Paige, do you do the same thing or no?
I would say I do like my working out. That's like my
For sure.
decompress. I usually go like 5 days a week. So I mean, I don't necessarily always go after work, but just like my me time is my 45 minutes at the gym. So yeah, that's
Do you
what I
have
do.
no phone as well, or do you take the phone with you?
Well, it's at a class, so it would be kind of hard
Oh,
to
okay. Yeah, like be on a call with me or Mark
Yeah.
or something in the
Yeah,
class.
no, I go to Burn Boot Camp. Do you guys have those around you?
I don't know what is it, like a
It's
global
like
gym or
a
class.
something?
yeah, like HIIT class. I mean, we do like strength
Oh,
training
okay, yeah.
and yeah, so it's just another one of the like an F45 if you guys have those around you. I don't know. Those might all be like I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's just a workout class. But what about you, Ian?
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of go home, don't talk to anyone in the car, turn the music off, really just stew, you know. I'd go rock climbing, snowboarding, get outside any way I can.
Yeah.
Rock climbing.
Ian's a really good rock climber. He
Really?
took me
Yeah,
like,
I took Mark rock climbing a couple weeks ago. It was
Yeah.
pretty fun.
that was hard.
He hasn't come
Really?
back for some reason.
Really sore, right?
I was, yeah. I was my
Ian, you don't do
forearms.
like parkour, do you? Or like you like climb a building or
No, just
like do you do all that crazy
there's
stuff
like
or no?
there's like gyms you can go to, and then there's you go outside, find a nice cliff, and climb up it.
Do you
Eat some
actually
snacks?
hit up like the local park and just start climbing away or
I try to do it without trespassing if I can. Yeah, but there's
someone's retaining wall in the backyard.
there's some good climbing around Pennsylvania. Some you find like a nice rock, go up it, go down to Kentucky a couple times this summer.
Have you? Yeah, like to like the Smoky Mountains or anything or
Yeah, the Red River Gorge in Kentucky is pretty great. The New River Gorge in West Virginia. I think there's some pretty solid climbing up in Michigan, but I haven't made it that way yet. I prefer going up instead of jumping out of things.
Yeah, I honestly I hear that often. Well, one time I did cliff jumping in Jamaica and it was like I did like a backflip, but it was
With like a
60
bungee?
foot up. No, just
Yeah.
it was like a free fall, just like jump into the water
Oh,
off of like cliff jumping. And my brother's with me, of course, and we both did backflips, and that was the most scared I've ever been. But I can jump out of a plane no problem. So I don't know what it is. But yeah, jump like low level jumping, or like I couldn't even do rock climbing probably. That would probably freak me out if you were on something like high elevation, but skydiving is no problem at all. So I don't know. I can't I'm not scared of heights or anything, but like the idea
Not either.
I don't want to break any bones or anything, you know.
it's
Yeah.
I feel like I got more scared of heights as I got older. Like when we went to Sedona.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I don't know. When we were in Sedona, that was one of the first times we went climbing, up these
On a trail.
On a trail, but like there were rocks that we were climbing. We didn't have hiking shoes at the time. And our shoes were just like sliding on these like super smooth, like shale type rocks. I was freaking out. Mark was going like right up to the edge, and I don't know. My heart was starting to get the flutters a little bit. And I growing up never had that feeling. So it was kind of weird.
For sure.
To experience.
I just don't want to get hurt. I don't want to have to go through an injury and then, be out of commission for like 3 months with a big cast down or anything. That's why I get a little scared and timid from it. But yeah, I need to try. I probably should try rock climbing. I'm sure it's a fun. If it's anything what's that?
It's like a full body workout. Like people, like you were like he coached me through it all, but he's like, you're using like all your arms, like use your legs, like use your and like your mobility and flexibility.
Right.
Like it's a whole lot more that goes into it than you'd ever think. Like just based off of the hour I did it with him, I was like, whoa, like that is there's a certainly technique to it for facility. Sure.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Have you ever been snowboarding, Mark?
Yeah.
I've been trying to get him to go out with me this winter. They seem reluctant.
Sports just suck. I am terrible. I am absolutely horrible.
You would be better at skiing.
Yeah, but snowboarding's so much more fun.
But he won't go because he's scared of going. So why doesn't he?
What are you scared of?
Injury. We went snowboarding in Park City, and I had like a half a day lesson in the morning, and I was like, okay, like I feel like okay, like
this
enough to like hold on.
Yeah.
And then we met up after lunch. We had lunch, and then we like started doing
actual
like slopes together. And oh my God, like I'm like the third one I went down, I hit my head so hard. And I was like, I think I have a concussion. Like I have a headache. And like they always say, like, don't put your arm out. Like anything they tell you not to do, it's just instinctual. Like, don't put your arm out when you fall because you're gonna and I like first or second fall, I was like, I think I just tore my rotator cuff. Like I think I just like it was brutal. But
yeah. All right.
It's easy after the first time.
Yeah. I thought longboarding like on a skateboard would give me some sort of advantage. Or like, if I can longboard on this, like I know the feel of how to move the board, and it just not even close.
No.
So,
Casey, before we wrap up here, you want to do any shout outs? I feel like if you're on a podcast, you're almost obliged to just do a couple quick ones.
I'll do a couple. I'll do. You know what? I'm going to shout out Patrick Ford. Patrick Ford.
Shout out Patrick Ford.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. That guy's awesome too. He really kicks it. And I'm gonna shout out my whole crew, the whole family. Getting it done every day. They're out. I got guys out working today, driving trucks for an excavation company today. So shout out to the people that keep it turning. You know what I mean? And let's hope for a good year, right?
We appreciate you jumping on and taking the last
this
hour
is
out of your
fun.
day because we know you're busy and we know you were a little hesitant to jump on with us. So we appreciate your time and glad we got to showcase you and how awesome you are and how much you help us here at the Pavement Group.
Number one.
Thank you guys so much.
Number one,
yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Hey, I'll call all three of you guys soon too. By the way, I got to talk to all three of you guys off the record about work. So we'll keep in touch, of course.
Sounds good. Thanks, Casey.
Yeah. Thanks again to Casey Williams, president of Michigan Paving Specialist, and appreciate you guys watching our show. As always, you can find us on the 1Team Media app. You can also watch other podcasts on our 1Team network as well.
That's all. We'll see you sometime next month.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, guys.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys.
All right. Bye, Casey.